They say still water runs deep, but here in northern Georgia, the water does far more than just run deep. It hides secrets. Secrets of entire towns drowned beneath its dark surface, of lives lost in ways no one can quite explain, and of whispered warnings passed down through generations about a curse that clings to these waters. This is Lake Lanier. At first glance, Lake Lanier looks like a southern paradise, carved into the heart of Georgia. It stretches wide and inviting, drawing in thousands of visitors every summer. Families gather around picnic tables under the warm sun. Children laugh as they splash near the shore, and boats skim across the water, leaving ripples that catch the afternoon light. The lake glimmers blue, peaceful and calm, as if nothing could ever go wrong. But those who live nearby will tell you a different story. They'll speak of an unease that seeps in as evening approaches, of something heavy in the air that can't quite be explained. For beneath these waters lie entire forgotten communities, roads, buildings, and graves, left behind when the government flooded the land to create the lake in the 1950s. Generations were uprooted. Cemeteries were relocated, though not every grave was moved. Locals whisper that the restless spirits of those left behind still wander, unseen, beneath the waves. Over the years, Lake Lanier has claimed hundreds of lives in tragic, often mysterious accidents. Boats capsizing without cause, strong swimmers vanishing without a trace, and vehicles slipping into the water as if pulled by unseen hands. Some say the lake is cursed, others say it's just coincidence. But the chilling stories persist of shadowy figures seen walking on the water at night, or hands felt tugging at swimmers from below. To outsiders, Lake Lanier is just a beautiful place to spend a summer afternoon, but those who know its history understand. Sometimes, what lies beneath calm waters is far darker than anyone dares to imagine. To understand why, we have to look back. Long before the lake filled with water, this land was full of life. Small towns and tight-knit communities dotted the rolling hills. Homes stood alongside orchards, fields, and graveyards. People lived, loved, worked, and died here, never imagining it would all be swallowed up. In the 1952nd, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers built Buford Dam to supply power and water to Atlanta. They planned to flood over 50,000 acres of land to create Lake Lanier. Families were paid to move. Businesses were boarded up. Churches were emptied. Some graves were exhumed and moved, but many were left behind, deep under what would soon become a vast reservoir. And so, the water rose. Roads disappeared beneath the waves. Church steeples vanished. Entire neighborhoods were consumed. And down below, in the silence, those stone foundations, rusted bridges, and unmarked graves remained. Today, divers who dare to explore the depths speak of a drowned world. They glide through what looks like a sunken ghost town, where tree stumps jut from the lakebed and old roads still curve off into darkness. It feels like the past is still there, one diver said, like you're swimming through someone else's memories. Visibility can vanish to nothing, leaving only the sense of something watching from the murky dark. And then, there are the deaths. Since the lake's creation, hundreds of people have drowned here. Some vanish on calm days, in shallow water, without explanation. Boats capsize suddenly. Strong swimmers slip beneath the surface and never return. Locals say the lake has a pull, an unseen force that drags people under. It's become part of local lore, whispered at campfires and family gatherings. My cousin drowned in 20 feet of water. He was a lifeguard, one woman recalled, still shaking her head. Another man described how his boat flipped over for no reason, and it felt like something wrapped around his ankle, pulling him down. You don't go to Lanier at night, another said flatly. Just don't. Are these just stories meant to scare children? Or are they warnings rooted in real tragedy? One of the lake's most chilling legends is the Lady of the Lake. In 1958, two women were driving across a bridge at night when they crashed into the water. For over a year, they were missing until fishermen discovered a badly decomposed body floating near the bridge. It was missing both hands. Years later, divers finally found the submerged car, with the second woman still inside. Ever since, drivers claim to see a woman in a flowing blue dress walking the bridge at night. She drifts along the guardrail, face hidden by shadows, one handless arm gleaming pale in the moonlight. Some say she's searching for what was lost. Others say she watches the living, a silent reminder of what lies beneath. Officials blame the drownings on alcohol, cold shock, or hidden debris left behind from when the lake was flooded. And yes, there are sharp stumps, cables, and even entire structures under the water. But even skeptics admit it feels different here. The air seems heavier, the water darker. Some believe Lake Lanier is cursed, a punishment for burying the past instead of honoring it. Others say that trauma leaves an energy that clings to a place, echoing through time. Pain, grief, and unfinished stories can settle in the soil or sink to the bottom of a lake. And maybe that's the real haunting. Not ghosts in white dresses, but the weight of what was lost. The families forced to leave their homes, the graves that were left behind, the lives cut short in water that should have been safe. At dusk, when the sky turns gold and shadows stretch across the water, the lake seems almost peaceful. But under that stillness lie silent roads that lead nowhere, rusted cars locked in mud, and stone walls built by hands long gone. A graveyard underwater, hidden from view, but never truly forgotten. If you stand by the shore at night, you might hear the wind stir across the surface, and you might feel something, a chill, a presence just beyond your sight. The sense that you're not alone, that someone or something still remembers. The next time you see calm water, ask yourself, what's really underneath? What history was buried so others could build something new? And if you ever visit Lake Lanier, remember this: the water may look still, but it never forgets. Because sometimes, the scariest stories aren't the ones we make up. They're the ones waiting quietly in the dark, just beneath the surface. If you found this story haunting, you're not alone. There are dozens of lakes across America that hide towns, cemeteries, and secrets beneath their waters. Subscribe for more stories of the strange, the forgotten, and the places no one talks about. Because sometimes, the past doesn't stay buried.